Christian Leaders Institute just completed an extensive review from the Academic Council for Educational Accountability. In a meeting in October of 2014, Dr. David Fettis and myself, along with reviewers from ACEA, met in the Chicagoland region to review our curriculum, to interview students, to look at our budget, our organization. These reviewers come from other educational institutions in the United States. What I want to do in a mini-part series each month is share this report to you students so you know the inside track of how the review went, some of the recommendations, that together we can go forward and bring free, high-quality ministry training everywhere. One of the points that they realized is the goal of this school, and this was in the report, is to be highly efficient, inexpensive, and credible. So I want to talk about some of these points that were in the report so that you are aware and together we can go forward. First of all, they saw that Christian Leaders Institute is highly efficient. President Reyenga raises the entire $700,000 budget from donors without student tuition payments except for student donations. They saw that we present Christian Leaders Institute to churches, individuals, foundations, and student donors so that people everywhere in the world can have high-quality online education. They also noted the extensive support from students, graduates who contribute every month, and every month we see more and more students who support Christian Leaders Institute, and they highly congratulated the students. And I want to pass that on to you students, that you are noticed in your faithfulness. It's inexpensive, and they saw how this opportunity was available in a lot of interviews with students. What they heard from students and graduates were things like, it's affordable. I like that I can bring what I have to make a donation. So it was sort of like, look, this is a free model, and the students see the free model, and wherever they are, and no matter what their financial situation is, they can receive this excellent training, and it is inexpensive. It's also credible. The assessors wrote this: the curriculum is well written and thorough. A brief review of the curriculum finds it comprehensive and practical. The scope and sequence is well thought out and organized. It provides practical theological training needed for those called to ministry. The curriculum stays away from liberal theology, the social gospel, and liberation theology. In other words, what the assessors saw is that this biblical curriculum for ministry training is put together for your benefit. When we read that, we praise God that they saw what we have in our heart desire to create for you students and graduates, a credible curriculum. Another thing that they noticed right away is it is for non-traditional ministry training students. That is called leaders from everywhere who are not going to be able to go to a residential seminary for a lot of reasons, not only cost, but also time, schedule. There were many, many reasons. I quote from the report, the founders of CLI recognize that God is raising up powerful leaders around the world, but the prevailing secular worldview has influenced them and limits them from having a biblical worldview for effective ministry. Yet lay people must be trained as ministry people. They need the confidence from solid biblical training to succeed in ministry. The assessors saw what's in our heart to bring high quality, credible ministry training worldwide. You know, I'm going to end this first report by just reiterating my passion. The passion of Dr. Fettis, the passion of our professors, the passion of the Christian Leaders Institute board. We really believe in the triumph of free, available, available opportunities. 1 Corinthians 9 verse 18. What then is my reward, the Apostle Paul says? Just this, that in preaching the gospel I may offer it free of charge, and so not make use of my rights in preaching it. In other words, we could charge. It's worth it. This is so valuable. The gospel is above rubies. It's beyond value. There is no monetary value you can put on the power of saved lives, saved souls, of the love of Christ going throughout the entire earth. And yet, something this valuable can be free, and ministry training can be free, and that is our passion at Christian Leaders Institute. In future reports, we're going to talk about the many different aspects of Christian Leaders Institute, its character, what it does, recommendations from ACEA, and how we can continue to offer this triumph of free ministry training worldwide.